You are listening to The Awkward In Between, a podcast discussing the challenging transition from high school to young adulthood. I am your host, JSE, and in today's episode, we will discuss the shift from junior year of college to senior year, the conflicts we face, the solutions to said conflicts, and how they prepare us for young adulthood. Now, let's dive in. Hello, welcome back to the Awkward In Between podcast. So today's episode, I'm opening with a quote that I recently saw on Pinterest. It really resonated with me for this episode. The quote says, "You will never always be motivated, so you must learn to always be disciplined." Recently in my life, I've been learning a lot about self-discipline with school slowly coming to an end and graduation being on the horizon. It takes a lot of self-discipline to work and do your best and look to the end goal. So this goes along well with the topic of today's episode. I am not alone today. I actually have a guest, my good friend, Lillie Okalani Wilson.
I am Lillie. I am currently a Northwestern student. I'm in my third level of ASN. After graduation, I plan to be a labor and delivery nurse. And I guess that's a great segue into discipline because I did have to take a 2-year break before I committed.
Okay, so let's just go ahead and just dive into everything. College is interesting. Do you have any conflicts that you possibly faced during junior year?
A lot of conflicts. Psychologically, financially, physically, in every aspect of my life. I feel like there has been at least one conflict. But I feel like those conflicts have made me a woman. I feel like I came into this program as like a baby adult, as I used to call myself. But now I feel like I'm ripening or maturing. All of those adversities that I've been through just through junior year, I feel like has helped me out a lot.
Okay. You said emotionally, financially. I think you face the financial problems in pretty much every year. I don't think that you're never not going to face problems like that. Those are really common problems. The changes that you go through emotionally, physically, it's never going to be the same versus freshman year to sophomore year to junior year to all the way when you're getting ready to graduate. You're practically a completely different person in every phase. Not even practically, you are a different person in every phase. So my question for you, tell me how your junior year, the opening portion of your junior year, how did that shift your mindset? What conflicts did you run into?
I would say that mentally shifted me by giving me grit, giving me, like you were saying, discipline in a quote. And whenever you said that quote, I wanted to just yell because I was like, yes, 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 yes. Literally, that is what junior year has been like. Discipline, grit, determined, just beating through every obstacle, adjusting back to home, just adjusting from being on my own, having my own routine and going back to living with my family was a real big adjustment because it was just some things you forget how your family is whenever you leave, and then when you come back it's like a ton of bricks hit you in your face. So that was really hard. Getting back into the groove of being in school, like when you go back to school, especially nursing school, they want you to be there. Okay, call time is 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock is late. They want you to be there for 6:45. So just adjusting to rules and the grit of the program. 80 is a failing grade. 79.999, they won't round you up. So having to get used to that, and also family dynamics, I couldn't let that get to me in school. School had to be my priority. But it took a lot of self-reflection, a lot of work. This wasn't something you learn overnight. It was just kind of like, all right, if I can get through the day, tomorrow's going to be better than today. So I just didn't know what tomorrow would bring. Even now, I'm still kind of like, the last 100 days of school, what does that mean for me? Will I make the finish line? So.
Okay. You were talking about taking a break. I have talked to a few people about this. We've discussed this after not seeing each other for some time because, you were in Texas and I was here. So I took a break for a year. That was a really frustrating year for me because I felt really lost and I didn't feel like I knew what I was doing. But I had a lot of adults around me telling me repeatedly, don't stay out for too long because you might not go back. Normally when people take breaks, that means that they're not going back. And it would get to the point where they would really frustrate me because it's like, I'm already in a bad place. I'm already stressed out. I'm already confused. I'm already overwhelmed. And you telling me that is not making it better. Did you have people around you that were like doing something similar?
Nobody in my family has went to college. So I'm the first one to graduate high school, and I'm the first of a lot. Everybody around me did that. But you want to know the thing about it? It's the people who didn't go to college. It's the people who didn't have things going on in their life. We all have different purposes in this life.
Yes.
And my purpose is not your purpose. I do feel like the ones that I don't want to say I'm better than them, but I'm achieving more than them, had more to say. People that I had as a mentor or was on my side never gave me slack for taking a break. Like my cousin, she was always so supportive of that. And anytime I needed to call her, anytime I needed to come to her house, boo-hooing, it could be whenever, it could be raining, snowing, and she was there for me. And then I had a mentor. She never ever was like, oh, you need to go back. She was just like, do what is best for you. I don't feel like people who have been through college, straight from high school with no family support understands that.
Yeah.
They just think it's so easy because, oh, well, you don't have the same struggles that I had when I was your age. They have more empathy and not just assuming it wouldn't be as bad. I definitely had a lot of pushback. Like me and my mom's relationship got really bad. At the end of the day, it's my life. I would rather you be ashamed of me for me taking a 2-year break or a eternity break for all I cared. I didn't have to go back to school. That's not my purpose to please you. I've done that my whole life. The whole reason I took the break, I guess it was kind of rebellious in a way. I needed to figure out who I was. Who was the little girl inside of my brain controlling some of the things that was going on?
Okay, us talking about the break, it makes me think about the quote that I was talking about at the beginning, where it talks about the self-discipline. You're not always going to be motivated, but you need to learn how to be self-disciplined. And sometimes the truest form of self-discipline is forcing yourself to sit down and allowing yourself to take a break, because you can become so quote unquote productive that you will burn yourself out because you're trying to achieve and grab and reach and please everyone around you, and then you'll be unhappy, and then you'll wonder, well, I have everything that I wanted, why do I feel the way that I feel? This actually leads me into what I was going to ask next. How did you taking that 2-year break, how did it shape the person that you are now? I know that whenever I took my break, it helped me be more grateful for school, but it also taught me how to be just a tad bit more serious about the things that I want. And it also taught me to be okay with wanting my high standards to be achieved and being okay with having high standards, because people will make you feel bad for having high standards. There's nothing wrong with that,
Well, thank you for stating the high standards, because I get a lot of pushback from that. I get told that I'm high maintenance or like a brat. Well, I'm not being a brat. I'm the most down to earth person you ever know. I'm just strict. I'm that strict friend. I'm that strict family member, But I'm not going to get sidetracked. You know how you have to go down some to build back up?
Yeah.
I went down a lot. Just imagine being in a hole and you just keep digging. Maybe if I keep digging and searching, I'm gonna find something good. And it just kept getting dark around me, and I was like, what is going on? When I went to Houston, I just thought that was the best thing ever. I went and it was just me, my car, and my clothes, and that was it. Being in Houston, I seen a Facebook post about that today. It says, I love Atlanta, but Atlanta ain't for everybody. I moved to Atlanta after 6 months of living in Houston. In my opinion, both are the home of the hustlers, but Houston is more of the corporate world. Atlanta gonna teach you how to really get it out the mud, how to work a job and have 5 side hustles. This place brought the best out of me and showed me what I was really capable of. Jaya, when I said I had a job and 5 side hustles, I had a job and 5 side hustles. When you're out there by yourself and you don't have no mama, nobody to rely on, and you too stubborn to call them and ask them for some money, you're gonna have to figure it out. So it was a lot of days I had to figure it out, and I couldn't just spaz out. I had to pull myself up by my own bootstraps. I had to get up every day, drive 45 minutes to a $10 an hour job, and I had to work. afford. The only thing that I could afford was the gas in my tank and the food that I was eating. It was like that for a while, but that showed me what really mattered in life. That was a lot for me. So I had to figure it out, and I had to figure it out fast because I was digging myself into an early grave, and I didn't want that for myself. I had fought so hard to fight the generational curses that my family had been through to where I felt like I was just running myself right back to where it all started. I started to do like the self-reflection, the journaling. YouTube was my therapist. I know they said seek professional help. Now that I am in the medical field, please seek professional help. Seriously.
Yes.
But at the moment, that's all I could do. And I got obsessed with YouTube and childhood attachment and narcissistic people and how you can stop me and the people whatever I was going through. That's what I looked up.
There's like this little, I'm sorry, I didn't mean
You're
to cut you
good.
off. There's this little YouTube channel. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's like animation.
Psych to Go?
Yes.
I love Psych to Go.
Yes. Okay. And you know, like they have like the little leaves on their head and stuff. Okay. I thought that was what you were gonna say, but I didn't know for sure. But I've watched a lot of their videos, and whenever I was on campus and I would be going through what I was going through at the time, they were one of the channels that I would listen to quite frequently. Even now, I listen to some of their videos. I will listen to some of their episodes because they are really, really helpful.
I still follow them.
Oh, look at that. You do. Okay. I'm glad that I'm not the only one. I feel like they are a common channel, but I've never heard anybody talk about them. So I was like, I wonder if she knows about the little leaf people. That's not what they're called, but that's what I call their channel, the little leaf people.
Yes. Psych to Go, Patrick Teehan, Suzanne Vinegar, and then Dr. Romney.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the conflicts that you are facing now as a approaching senior graduate.
Currently, I am having anxiety about after school. It's not even school. School has been lovely. Everything that I've been doing has been great. I don't know why they started letting us do applications our second to last semester, but I guess it's because it's just so many changes to the field right now.
Is it a competitive
field? Well, for what I want an ICU or L&D. Those are kind of like two different extremes, but they're very competitive. And I guess the earlier you apply, the better chance you have at getting the job. But I already know the managers. So it's just kind of like, was there enough spots for me? And that was stressful because at first they were like, I don't know, we may open one. And one girl, she was like, oh yeah, I got the position. And if I'm gonna be honest and transparent, I kind of felt a little jealous. I told her congratulations. I didn't feel spite towards her. I felt spite because I didn't know if I was able to get that same blessing. So I just prayed about it and I just kept showing up, kept being positive, using that as motivation to keep going. Just when I was finna throw the towel in, the Lord, He provided and
Amen.
I got the position. I'm stressed about where I'm gonna be living, when is the perfect time to move, and paying for my license. Will I be competent enough to do this? It's like imposter syndrome.
But I definitely understand the imposter syndrome. I get that all the time and I have to talk myself out of it. You know what though? That actually leads me into the next segment. Ways to overcome these challenges, you and I both know, is by praying. It actually makes me think of something that I read in my devotional a few mornings ago. It was talking about how Jesus calmed the waves on the sea while the sailors were in the boat, and when the waves stilled, everything was okay. The waves are basically our life. We're on the boat, we're moving around, and the waves are day-to-day worries. And when you rely on God, when you rely on Jesus, when you rely on His word, when you rely on our helper, that is the Holy Spirit, it will still a lot of that worry and anxiety that is happening around you, and you will know what He wants you to do and where He wants you to go and how He wants you to do it. Okay, so we're bleeding into my very last question here. Graduation. We've mentioned it a few times before. Everybody gets really excited for graduation. I know I'm excited for graduation. I know that you are really excited about graduation.
I'm nervous.
Because that means that we are relieved of our student duties and we don't have to be stressed about due dates and exams. We get a little bit of breathe room. So, what are some goals that you hope to accomplish after graduation?
Well, ma'am,
Mm-hmm.
some goals that I have, for one, just thinking about graduation actually makes me so nervous, but definitely clean up my act when it comes to my health.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I got some labs done and everything was good, but it can be better. Grow with my current partner, have a really great, healthy relationship with them that we have been working hard on.
Mm-hmm.
Come closer together and do things the right way and hopefully get married.
Ooh, a ring.
And I just want to get back into what I love, like my hobbies. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I really like the gym. And the last thing I would say is getting closer to the Lord and also traveling.
Ooh,
I'm
to
a traveler.
be able to travel and not be tied down by school, that's like a breath of fresh air.
That's like freedom.
So, in this episode, we discuss the challenges that you face in your junior year of college. Not only you, but common challenges that other students have faced. We talked about the solutions that you got after facing those challenges and how they shaped you to the person that you are today. And we also discussed your challenges that you're facing right now as a senior who is approaching her graduation. And we also discussed what goals you would like to accomplish after graduation. I was so happy to have you on tonight. Are there any final words that you would like to say?
Stay in school, kids. But no, seriously, thanks for having me on. Like, it was fun doing this.
So, all right, I'm going to wrap up this episode here. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to hear more, follow The Awkward In Between on Spotify. Also, feel free to follow us on Instagram at @the_awkward in between. Be blessed, be happy, and I look forward to connecting with you in the next episode.